Hello again, everybody. Welcome to this Thursday edition of Cogeco News. I am Greg Estabrooks. Well, the first polls have been released following the developing story of the alleged political interference by the Canadian Liberal government in the prosecution of SNC Lavalin. What effect will this have for the re-election chances for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in this October's federal vote? Clarke Heipel has more.
The most recent polls show Justin Trudeau's Liberals and Andrew Scheer's Progressive Conservatives are neck and neck. Compare this to the end of last year when the poll tracker gave the Liberals a better than 90% chance of winning the upcoming election. The change can be accredited to this. Just 2 short weeks ago, the Globe and Mail broke the story of the alleged political interference by the Trudeau government, claims that the Prime Minister's office had political interference in the prosecution of SNC Lavalin on bribery-related charges. Since the news broke, Canada's Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould has resigned from cabinet, and this was followed by the resignation of the PM's right-hand man, Principal Secretary Gerald Butts. For a professional take on this developing story, we checked in with Nipissing University political science professor Dr. David Tabachnik.
This really is the first major threat to the Trudeau government in the sort of realm of public opinion. There is this sense that the story that we've been told so far is incomplete. And so we're sort of waiting here over the next weeks and months to hear everything.
Earlier this week in the House of Commons, Progressive Conservative leader Andrew Scheer did his best to have the PM answer some questions.
So, if the Prime Minister is so sure that these allegations are false, and if Mr. Butts did nothing wrong, then why did the Prime Minister accept his resignation?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister. Speaker, Gerald Butts has always believed in the confidence that Canadians must have in our institutions, and indeed believe deeply in the work that this government needs to continue to do to deliver.
So I asked Dr. Tabachnik this: will we ever hear the true story?
The way our system in Canada works is that there's something called cabinet confidentiality. So things that happen in the cabinet, in a cabinet meeting, a discussion amongst cabinet ministers and the Prime Minister, are kept from public view. This may sound rather undemocratic, but that is our system. And in fact, even if you wanted to see these discussions, I believe you have to wait 30 years before they're released to the public. So maybe we'll know the truth in 30 years, is what I'm saying.
MPs voted to not have a public inquiry, so it's perhaps going to be a bit longer than some people want for the truth.
Oh, well, that's exactly right. Of course, let's be clear. It may be the case that what the Prime Minister has said and his fellow MPs is exactly the case, that there was no pressure put on the Attorney General, that these were just merely typical discussions and they were just looking out for everyday Canadians. And so that may turn out to be the case as well. Let's not forget.
The 43rd Canadian federal election is scheduled for Monday, October 21st, 2019. Reporting for Cogeco News, I'm Clarke Heipel.